Hello, friends. Happy Friday. I hope you're doing well. Your weekend is off to a great start. I am sure happy to be back tonight after a little break last week, and we could talk more about that. Had a great time, but it's good to be back home, and it's good to be amongst friends. As is the tradition, I've got the Matches Memorial Friday Savinelli here with some Haunted Bookshop. And yeah, let's get going. So let's see who we got joining us so far tonight. I see the Urban Hermit. Good to see you, Everett. And Everett's telling me I got no sound, which is not good. Is everybody else having no sound? Because there should be sound. Can anyone else hear me? Or not hear me? Cannot. Loud. Oh, okay. So sorry, Everett. It's your problem. Couch heard Nintendo. I give up. Oh, it was just a lag. All right. Sure thing, Everett. You stop back in after months of not being here, and you take me right off my game. It's good to see you, buddy. Glad you could make it. So let's see. There's Steve Russell, White Ash, Piper, Pipe Time. Good to see you, Couch. Who heard the Nintendo? Good to see you, Couch. Todd Monson, Jeffrey Feinberg, Tim Fournier, who just saw a tree fall down. Hope all is well there, Tim. Getting some bad weather, I assume. Smarty Bob, good to see you, Bob. Lord Hogarth, Piper said, Stanley Smith, Signalman Tony from Rhode Island. No furnace sounds yet, Piper said. I forgot to turn it off, I see. And I'm too lazy to get up and do it. So we might have some furnace sounds later. Tonight I decided to go with a martini, gin martini. Dirty and very, very dry. There's Flint Hill Briar. How you doing, buddy? Severe thunderstorms. Yeah, we've had quite a few of those here, Tim. I know the feeling. Strange weather all over, huh? Severe weather, I should say. Not really strange, but just extreme. Gary Eminster, thank you for the sound check, buddy. So as folks roll in, as you know, I took last weekend off, drove to Central PA and did some fly fishing, had a fantastic time. And I will probably do a video at some point talking about the fishing trip and the stop I made in Ohio at a really cool little antique tool shop. But yeah, quite enjoyed myself there. Fishing was great, and couldn't ask for a better time. And then I drove down to Columbus, Ohio for the pipe show and had a fantastic time there. Saw a lot of old friends, made a lot of new friends, enjoyed the heck out of myself. That doesn't sound good. Enjoyed the heck out of it. And had myself a good time. There we go. There's our buddy Poem, Hubba Bubba. Michael Case saying gin is the only valid martini. I'll bend on that a bit, Michael. I'll take a vodka martini if I can't get a gin, but I do enjoy the gin. Flint Hill Briar having his first pipe in 5.5 weeks. Thank goodness, eh? Gary's having some coffee and Tim's making one of those fly fishing jokes, which I just love. Yes. It is hard baiting those little hooks to fish for flies. Yes. I also do fly tying, Tim. Would you like to ask me how hard it is to tie them down? It's okay though. There's no matter what I do, there's going to be a silly joke about it too. So you might as well be the one making it. It makes me smile. Urban Hermit's having a dilemma. He's thinking about ordering the Savinelli Christmas pipe, 673 shape, but he's thinking maybe he should just order Haunted Bookshop because we know what happens in the fall. Yes, we do, Everett. We do indeed. There's going to be a Haunted Bookshop shortage this fall. Sure as winter follows the fall, or spring follows winter, or whatever the saying is. I'm having trouble with my expressions tonight. I hope it is healed up there, Flint Hill. Yes, 5.5 weeks. That's a good long break, so hopefully all is well. Fly paper, Tim, what's next? You'll think I'm one of them bait fishermen? Now, please don't think too hard about how you bait the hook when you're fishing for flies. That wouldn't be good. But no, it was really a fantastic time. The pipe show. I will do a video this Sunday about the pipe show, and I'll show off some of the stuff that I got and so on. It was just an incredible time, and you've heard everybody say it. I'll say it too. If you haven't been to a pipe show, get to a pipe show. I'm seriously thinking about. So I got to get up to Vermont to visit my brother and sister at some point. I've been up there in almost a year now. And the Capital Land Pipe Show is in Albany, New York on September 16th, somewhere around there. Don't quote me on the date, but you can search it, Capital Land Pipe Show. And I'm thinking about making that a stop on the way up. Maybe spending the night in Albany and then getting an early start to get up to Vermont in the morning. So that might be my next pipe show. Poem always thought that my mixture 965 would be a fall blend. If you like that sort of thing. Not going there, Tim. Not going there. Although I did learn the name of a city in Thailand today that I'll have to text to you later, Tim. It fits with that place you always want me to go fishing. Couch, there's always a Haunted Bookshop shortage in the fall. For some reason. We think it's a conspiracy, Everett and I. Michael, I caught more trees than fish, that's for sure. And I spent probably about a quarter of my time untying knots and tangles. But that happens to me usually, well, it always happens to me. But it's really bad if I haven't been fishing in a while, and I hadn't been fishing in a while. So yeah, I kind of got stuck with that, but I had a good time. I mean, I had 5 or 6 fish that I brought to hand. I usually just shake them off the hook because I don't want to handle them if I don't have to. I took the first one out and took a photo of it and put it back in. Lots of hits. I just couldn't hook them. It was all nymphing though. There was no surface activity at all. Anyway, I'll talk more about it in a future video. I don't want to bore you with fish store shop. I have not, Poem, so that's something maybe I should look for. Oh, the Albany Pipe Show. Is that the Capital Land Pipe Show? It started last year, was the first time they had it, so I don't know if there's a different Albany Pipe Show, but it's... Anyway, actually got a couple of them that I'll show off at some point, but this one I think is really, really cool because if you notice the way that... So this is an old... Forget, this was explained to me. And by the way, this was a gift from my buddy Eric, the blue collar pipe smoker. The way people are, I made the mistake of admiring it, and it was mine. It's an old pattern that is probably a tamper for a clay pipe. And if you notice the grip on it, there's the pipes being held like this. And it caught my eye because that's the way Bela Lugosi used to hold his pipe, or at least in some photos. And I was explaining that to Eric, and Eric said, "Here, it's yours." So I like it. And Larry was at the show. Always good to see him. Eric was there. I don't want to start listing people because I'm going to forget. I actually have to sit down and write down everybody that I talked to so that I can, on Sunday, actually do justice to this. Tuck, toy, yuck, tuck. How'd I do, Tim? Little Piper Todd, good to see you. Oh, poem, that's terrible. That's terrible. Snap the tip off the rod. That's terrible. So there was an Albany show back in 2007. Okay, I'm not familiar with that one, poem. I've been to the New York show, which was actually in New Jersey for some reason, but never to the Albany show. I did buy a pipe in Columbus, Couch. Yes, I did. I bought a Tim West pipe, and I'll show that off on Sunday. Hey, I got it right. I pronounced something right according to Tim. That makes me so happy. I've only known Tim for what, 4 years now, and I still can't pronounce his last name. But I got Tuck, Toy, Yuck, Tuck correct. Piper on the 45. Good to see you, buddy. And there's Name That Pipe. Rolling on in. Robert Miller. Good to see you, Robert. And George Tiedemann. Mushroom Leg, did I catch you earlier? Well, if not, welcome. If so, welcome a second time. If not, welcome the first time. Pretty soon I'll be able to say it at full speed. Yeah, Tim, we can all hope. So I'll tell you another Larry Blackett story. When I was talking to him, I said, you know, Larry, every time I show off my Roadrunner tamper, which I don't have here, somebody says, boy, he should make a Coyote. And, you know, I'd buy a Coyote to go with my Roadrunner. And he said, we make a Coyote. So you do? He said, yeah. And then, of course, you know, being the generous guy that Larry is, he gives me one. I can't pay him for it. I try to pay him for it. I bought another one from him, but he wouldn't take any money for the Coyote. And I said, okay, I'm going to show this off and hopefully put it. Well, I get home and I go to put it away, and I've got a Coyote tamper already. I had it wrong. What I should have told him was that they always ask about the Pokey tamper when I show the Gumby tamper. I mentioned that to Eric last night, Blue Collar Pipe Smoker, who knows Larry well, and Eric said, "Oh, Larry's got Pokey." It's like, oh, okay. So I got to keep better track of tampers. Creator of the Boundless Universe, good to see you. And there's our buddy Yornik. Hello, nice to see you again. It was Pokey, but not instead of Gumby, instead of the Coyote. Yes, Gary, I'm really happy with the Tim West pipe. I've been wanting one for a while now, and finally got one. Doug Owen, thank you for the update on the Phillies. My poor friend, the Durham Duke, is worried about this one, and Doug, I know you're probably not in a betting mood on this game, are you, Doug? But you never know with the Phils. You just never know. So I watched a YouTube video the other day. It was something about, I don't know why it popped up, but it was something about the knuckleball and why the knuckleball is banned, or, you know, use this language around it that wasn't actually true. But and I thought, oh, that's interesting, and I watched it. Now I'm getting all these like sort of like baseball lore type videos popping up, and the one I saw within the past week or so is this, you know, it's got the clickbait headline, which is, how is this possible? Team scores 10 runs in the first inning and loses game. And then I see the the thumbnail image is sort of in the background, but I can pick out the Phillies jersey. And I say, I'm not going to watch that one. I probably saw the game. I don't need to relive the pain. Stanley Smith is opening his last jar of Middleton Sherry. Oh my. Can't replace that, Stanley. Piper on the 40. How you doing, Peter? Good to see you. He's got his Friday 7 Ellie out with Haunted Bookshop in it. Smarty Bob, going to be a big gaw. Are you having a big gaw, buddy? I know I saw you were planning one. I'm sorry. I just have so much difficulty keeping up with videos anymore. When I've got a few minutes to watch them, it's usually, oh, I got to tell you what my wife's been watching. We'll get into that. Yeah, Doug, I know. It's disappointing. But, you know, we've all had seasons like that, buddy. They'll come back. Always the next season. And yeah, first spot in the wild card, I guess that's nothing to sneeze at, right? I see Yernick and Gary are on you guys about smashing the like button, and yeah, please do. It helps us out quite a bit. Okay, Poem, I am highly offended. Poem says if this channel gets popular, a bunch of AHs will start to join it. What do you mean if? Tim's got our first question of the night. Airwolf or the Red Green Show? I personally would go with the Red Green Show, Tim. Sorry, I know you're an Airwolf fan. I enjoyed it too, but Red Green makes me laugh. No, Poem, you can't just say sorry to that. If. I mean, sure, I don't have 40,000 subscribers, but I like the ones I had because I don't have to pay them. This is true, Michael. This is true. Anybody try Cornell and Deal's Steamworks? I have not. Be interested to hear about anybody else that might have. I did try at the pipe show. I tried the new Seattle Pipe Club. I think it's called Down Yonder, which is a very nice steamed Virginia flake. Really good stuff. Hard to believe it was Virginia. It was steamed so much, and it just had really like a spicy, rich flavor to it. Old Uncle Mike, how you doing, buddy? Finished some 40-year-old EA carry this morning. Now he knows about the grandma's purse smell and taste. Oh, and there's Sailor. Good evening, sir. Smoking Shane DeGraff and a Falcon. Scotch and soda on the side. Good deal. Keep your stick on the ice. Yes, Tim. And if the ladies don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. After 6 weeks, Flint Hill, that sounds pretty nice. 6mm charcoal filter with Haunted Bookshop. There you go. Enjoy, my friend. Mushroom Leg has got Steamworks going right now. What do you think of it, buddy? No, Dan, I did not. Red Green is something, Flint Hill. Oh, you were wondering if that's what my wife was watching. No. Oh, I got to tell you about this. Oh, Weybridge is something else, Couch. Yep. And yes, 40-year-old tobacco is mellow. Yes, down yonder is a winner, Doug. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna have to find some of that. Pirate Frog 333. How you doing, Robbie? Long time no see. And Sir Zenith. Good to see you too. McBaron Burley London Blend from 2019. Sounds good. So I'll tell you, my wife. I get two funny stories about her, and they're both things that I think only you guys would truly appreciate. So I'm getting ready to go to the pipe show, and I had to buy new wading shoes, wading boots. So I went to Cabela's the weekend before, and so I had this big Cabela's bag, and I said, I'm going to buy some briar when I'm at the pipe show, and I did. I bought some very nice briar, and I'm going to need a bag to put it in because last year I bought it, and I'm not going to pick on vendors, but the vendor that I bought it from didn't have a bag, so I had to go to my hotel room and get a bag and bring it. Anyway. So I'm going to use this bag. And my wife says, well, that bag's going to break. I said, no, it'll be fine. She said, no, why don't you take my new shopping bag? Now, you don't know what her new shopping bag is, but I do. She's got a Hallmark shopping bag. And it's a big, like the kind of reusable grocery bag type things, but it says Hallmark on the side of it. It's got the Hallmark logo and everything. And, I laughed quite a bit about that because I thought, walking around the pipe show with all these guys and stuff and having a Hallmark bag would be pretty damn funny. But then I thought if any of you guys were there, you'd get the joke. It would be even funnier. So I missed that opportunity. I took the plastic bag and sure enough, the darn thing broke on me. But that's another story. But the stuff she's watching right now is unbelievable. Let's see. I'm missing anything here. Steamworks is okay, needs a week of jar time. Just tastes like Sun Bear with Perique instead of honey. Well, that's an improvement on Sun Bear mushroom. Like, Yornik's not smoking anything. Okay, neither is better half, but that's because she's asleep. So she follows the Mark Twain model. Glad to hear it, Robbie. St. David's Pipes. How you doing, David? Good to see you, buddy. Name that pipe's got some Wessex Curly Block and a Boswell bent billiard. Does the bag come with snow? Only if you kiss it. So what she's watching now, I don't know how she found this. She said, I gotta show you what I found. So first off, she found YouTube on the Google Chromecast, which I thought was going to be a good thing, but actually it's a nightmare because she's now addicted to it. And on YouTube, she discovered a channel called Relaxing Village. Okay? Relaxing Village is this family in Azerbaijan that apparently spends all their time preparing meals. The videos are all outdoors. They sometimes harvest food from. They basically have a farm. They will show them, preparing the vegetables and fruits, washing them, cutting the meat. Sometimes actually chopping meat up. Like instead of using a grinder, actually hand chopping meat into what we call ground beef, but would be a chopped beef, I guess. And then cooking everything on an outdoor wood stove, and everything from boiling water to baking cakes. I mean, they do it all on this thing. The whole thing is done with nothing is spoken. You hear all the sounds. There's animals running around. You see cats and dogs and chickens and goats and everything, and they talk occasionally, very quietly, and of course in Azerbaijani, so you don't know what they're saying. And that's the show. Oh, and then they make tea and they sit down and eat. And then it goes to the next one. And I watched one of them and I thought, wow, this is really kind of neat seeing how they, do this stuff outdoors and the wooden stove and all. And then the second one was pretty much the same, only this time they used peppers instead of onions or whatever. And and then the third one, and it's just these minor variations on a theme, but she loves this thing. She watches it for hours, and it's just mind-numbing after one or two episodes. I just can't take it. Yes, Doug, that's the quote I was referring to from Twain. No, it doesn't. It doesn't meow. I've only seen them. I mean, they've got pretty identifiable cuts of meat, and none of them seem to be of that variety, Doug. But they do feed their dogs and cats. They feed their dogs and cats raw chicken, which kind of surprised me. Yardism, how you doing there, buddy? It has 250,000 subs. That I didn't check, but I wouldn't be surprised. Do you hear them smack while they eat? I don't think so. No, they laugh a lot when they eat. I mean, it's nice. It's pleasant. It is relaxing. I get why she enjoys it, but why you would watch more than one episode of this, I don't know. Ah, there you go, sailor. Been smoking pipes since '72, and he's got his first Falcon International. And he's impressed with it. Now they're good pipes. Well, Dan, these do not appear to be Muslims. I would guess. I mean, they've got a young girl that's running around without any. Uh, I'm sorry, I can't think of what it's called now. Burqa. Yeah, they do not appear to be Muslim, and they have quite a few dogs. So, yeah, I guess it does bring her peace, Palm, and that's a good thing. Yeah, they're not really noisy eaters, Tim. Sounds like the new way to eat. Yeah, Yurnik, I guess it's lovely. I just don't know why you'd want to watch anymore. No, it's actually from Azerbaijan, uh, Everett. But it's funny, she's watching them, and she's actually, so there's two of them. There's actually two different channels. I forget what the other one's called, but one is definitely called The Relaxing Village. And she watches these, and she actually like identifies thing like changes in the surroundings, and say, "Hey, they got a satellite dish. They didn't have a satellite dish last week." And yeah, that's your YouTube ad money. All right, Couch has got a weird question. He wants to know if the Savinelli fans use the plastic insert as the filter replacement. He has a 673 that just doesn't smoke well, and he's wondering if it's the insert. So I can answer that from my perspective. I have done both. I do use the insert. I have the insert in on this pipe. Hasn't given me any trouble, but I also have Savinellis that do not have an insert, and they're just fine. So try taking it out and see how it goes. Smarty Bob doesn't use them. Georgian and Armenian cuisine are good stuff, says Yurnik. I'm not even sure that this is Azerbaijani cuisine because it seems like they might just be making stuff up for YouTube. Because some of it's kind of, it's a lot of variations on a theme, and it's like, oh, they're making a cake again, and now they're going to put a different fruit in it, and oh, they made that dough, and instead of making it into a pizza, they're going to fold it into a, I don't know what you call it, pocket or something. All right, you're getting all kinds of insert. Several people use the insert. Some people don't use the insert. Creator, that sounds like a Falcon absorber, or you can just use a piece of pipe cleaner. Ron Hardcrackers, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Yeah, I honestly don't know, Dan. There's no indication of anything religious going on. Amazing meatballs with Georgian spices. Yornik got to enjoy. Creator, I think everyone should have a Falcon. They're darn good pipes that are just easy to maintain, and sometimes they're just what you need. Poem says that Simon recommends against smoking 9mm without the filter and no adapter. He probably has a point there, Poem. I just recommend against smoking a 9mm pipe because they have snappy tenons and big giant chambers in them that you have to stuff with something to cut down on the flavor. Pipe Time's got some 2011 Dunhill Navy rolls in a Tinsky black and tan. Nice. Yeah, maybe try without the insert, Flint Hill. Oh, there's a lot of dogs, Dan. They probably have 3 or 4 dogs on their show. Couch, I hate to say it, but I think you need a Falcon. Spice mix called Camille Sunil. Says Yornik, that's one of the Georgian spices. Tastes great on barbecue. Sounds good. KGB stands for Kind and Gentle Brotherhood. Roger Moore was a Falcon fan. Yeah, you know, when you consider it, Sailor, 24 bucks for the stem and 24 to 35 for the briar bowls, you know, you're in corncob pipe range, really. You know, you got to buy the stem, obviously, but then the bowls are about what some of the higher end cobs are costing. And you got a good briar smoke, and yeah, I really think Falcons are a bargain. Graybo Vikings are very similar, name that pipe. Absolutely. And an opinionated jerk there on the filters. You know, you smoke what you like and you like what you smoke and then you're doing it right. So if it works for you, that's fantastic. They snap, and then I'll make them in Delrin, which is better, but it's still going to break, and I don't know. But if it's what works for that person, they should have a pipe too. Couch, you don't have to order it today. Come on. Think about it for a week or so. Gary owns 3 Kirstens. Those are nice. Those I've never had a Kirsten. Buddy. Rick Allen, what about these meerschaum pipes with a twist-off mouthpiece? In your opinion, are they repairable? They are absolutely repairable. Just have to find the right guy to do it. Yes, my wife has taken all the bandwidth now that she's addicted to YouTube. That's exactly what's happening, Couch. I'll have to yell at her for that. Frozen smoke is a skill learned after many years. Thank you, doing it wrong. Hopefully I'm not frozen anymore. Ah, I'm back according to doing it wrong. I think I might be close to being done with the Haunted Bookshop here. Yes, Smarty Bob, most things are repairable. If you still have the tip of that bamboo rod, and I forget if it was you, Bob, or somebody else that talked about it. If you still have the tip, you could probably find somebody to fix it for you. It's not easy, but there are people that'll do that. Don't yell at her, consult with her. All right, Michael, I'll give that a shot. Tom, Retro Halo is awesome. That sounds good. Sir Zenith wants to get a Bing's pipe, but it has a vulcanite stem. Does it really taste like rubber, and does it get brittle over time? Well, Sir Zenith, most of my pipes have a vulcanite stem, and I've never had one that tasted like rubber. Other folks can comment. Does it get brittle over time? I've got vulcanite stems that are over 30 years old. Haven't had any problem with them. Oh, it was Poem that had it. Oh, grandfather fixed the rod. Okay. Just shortened it. Well, if it works, it works. There's Bear Wolf and Miss Kathy. How you doing, guys? Hope you're well this evening. So I am out of Haunted Bookshop here. So you know what that means? Time to pick the tobacco of the week, which is why I know most of you are joining me. Yeah, nobody's joining me for the tobacco of the week. Captain Black Rubber. You're getting some comments there, Zenith, on the vulcanite stems. So before we get to the tobacco, let's talk about the pipe so you know what you're pairing it with. We're going to be smoking the Boswell Calabash. Not an actual calabash, just a calabash shape. Big old pipe that me and my buddy Jack Kurtz got. So, Jack, if you're watching, I miss you, buddy. Wish you would give me a call, because I've been trying, and I can't call you. Can't find you. So, what should I smoke in this? And I've got a few possibilities here. They're all things that I've recently tried, but because they're open, I want to move them along quickly. The first, and these were all at the pipe show with me as well. We've got some Cornell and Deal Cajun Cake. Very nice Virginia Perique blend. Picked this up when I was at Cabela's buying my wading boots. Didn't get it. Best Brown Flake. And number 3, also from Sam Gallup, some 1792 Flake. So which of those would you like me to enjoy this week? Why do cows have hooves instead of feet? Asked Tim Fournier. Oh, glad to hear you're doing good there, Steve and Kathy. Oh, picking up down limbs. Yeah. They lack toes. Oh, Tim. Best Brown, Best Brown, Best Brown. Got 3 votes for Best Brown, 1 for Cajun Cake, says Yornik. 4 for Best Brown. In honor of what's his name on the patio? I don't know. That is parafilm on the tin, Flint Hill. Another vote for Best Brown. Best Brown. That looks like Best Brown is running away with it. 1792 jumps in there. You want to watch me fumble with the cake? Ah, come on. I wouldn't do that. Couple of votes for 1792, but looks like the Best Brown is winning. So let's go with the Best Brown. I've had them both, Doug, when I was at the pipe show, and honestly, I just don't like the topping that much on the 1792. It's okay. I can smoke it. But the nicotine, yeah, doesn't do anything. I didn't notice any difference between 1792 and Haunted Bookshop, to be honest, in terms of the effect it had on me. So I'm gonna take this is parafilm that I put on just because they were open tins and I didn't know when I'd be getting back to them, and it's pretty good at that. It's really, I usually put it on for ensuring the seal doesn't break if I'm going to be cellaring for a while. And let's see what information we have here. Nothing interesting there. Pressed and baked Virginias give this medium strength blend a sweet flavor. I had trouble opening this at the show, and my buddy Eric, the blue collar pipe smoker, was kind enough to help me, and look what he did to it. I mean, that's not how you open a tin. All right. So we got the neat little Gallup and Hooker thingy in there. And yeah, it's just got an interesting. It's funny. It's a little hard for me to describe this, but it's almost. I mean, it's definitely a very Virginia, hay barnyard kind of Virginia smell, but then it's got this. I don't know, like liquory, almost like a cough syrup smell to it. But I don't get much topping on this. It's like the first puff or two, and then it's gone. Yeah, I should have shown you the flakes before I broke this first one up, so I'll show you one in a second. Flint Hill, you've tried the parafilm? Yeah, I like it. Eric is a great guy, Bob. Horrible brown. Yornik's having a brown moment there. Bona Piper, how you doing, buddy? You can't be late. You're just in time. So this is in some very nice, beautiful flakes here. Lots of darks and lights and all kinds of good stuff going on. That's interesting, Doug. So the Lakeland essence on Best Brown Flake is apparently a result of the natural atmosphere in the Lake Districts of England. Kind of musty aroma. Interesting. How you doing, Timber Drifter? So that's the best way to prepare a full Virginia flake is you put it under the seat of your truck for about a year, huh? Hey, Smarty Bob, good to hear you got that appointment. That procedure is nothing. I went through it myself. Not this past February, but the February prior. And just follow your doctor's orders in terms of what you can lift afterwards, and you'll be fine. Oh, good. Name that pipe. I'm glad the parafilm is working for you. May take a little time to get lit. Any update on the Phillies Cards game there, Doug? Oh, I just missed Doug to say something. It's the brownie button. I'm gonna switch over to my that flame just isn't big enough right now for some reason. Bella is jumpy with the storm. Oh, sorry to hear that, Tim. Yeah, my dogs don't like storms either. Was Sonny? I just saw Smarty Bob say hello to Sonny the Piper. I missed him come in, so hello, Sonny. Yes, Tim, it is my drug lighter. It's my board down nicely. And then you should be able to keep it lit. Larry does have a Marilyn Monroe Tamper poem, but I think it's just sort of a stylized version of Marilyn's leg. Yes, Sonny, that is the crack piper, the cracked lighter for sure, indeed. Name that pipe. That's a good question. I don't know how many Larry Blackett Tampers I have. I should count them, but I've got to have close to 20. Five to two, Phil's in the seventh. Thank you, Sonny. Oh, Steve, we've been mixing it up for weeks here. White ash squared, I'm not sure what you mean by herbaceous type. That's right, Jim. It's a gathering of tampers. Yornik says he's got an excellent game called Book of Hours. Interesting. Jim PM. Finished cutting the grass, huh? A beer in Bayou morning and a Barasini Dublin. That sounds nice. Nothing wrong with check tools, Tim. For years I had nothing but golf tees and drywall screws. Well, Steve, sorry to weird you out, buddy. Oh, that's interesting. I just clicked to clear something. I just clicked on the chat window and I noticed that YouTube has brought back the go to channel thing. So I can actually click on, like right now I've clicked on Steve Russell and it says go to channel. So I can go to Steve's channel, which is really nice if you want to, if you see somebody in the chat and you want to subscribe to them, which you should do. I did not know that was possible. Or they used to be possible, but I thought they took that away. Smooth Piper finishes Haunted Bookshop. He's loading up some Chelsea Morning in a Schulte smooth freehand pipe. Very nice, Peter. Ah, Lord Hogarth. Not different kind of weakness, huh? Yeah, Timber Drifter, drywall screws are sort of like the last stitch before you use your finger. Those are nice tampers, Flint Hill. The squared off nail tampers. And Tim, if you need help with that, I'd be happy to help you out if I can. It's been so long since I've done mine, I don't know if it's still the same. It doesn't work on mobile. Okay, probably only on the laptop. Oh, that's interesting, Timber Drifter. I have the chat popped out. I'm wondering if maybe that does something to it. You can like detach the chat window, because what I've actually got right now is I'm seeing myself in OBS and I'm running the stream from that on half the screen, and the other half the screen is the chat window, which is great because I can blow up the font size and actually read what you write. There you go, Couch. Tobacco Pipes is trying to protect you. That's odd. Other folks are not seeing that option. Oh, maybe it's only on your own channel. That's a good point, Tim. Oh, that does sound like a busy couple of weeks there, Beowulf and Miss Kathy. Pipe show this weekend, Cherokee holiday celebration, and powwow next weekend. Wow. Hope you have a great time, though. Sonny, we talked about the Steamworks earlier, and I think Mushroom Leg was the only person that said he had tried it. Paul Johnson says he's having some Regent Flake, and it's great stuff. Good to see you, Paul. Hope you enjoy that. Weber's are good pipes, Gary. Yeah, I've really tried to stay away from, well, to be honest, I've tried to stay away from new tobaccos because I just have more than I need, and I don't need to be chasing any new ones. But that down yonder was really something special. So I'm gonna try to get some of that. That's the problem. I'm not saying that all new tobaccos aren't worth trying. It's just as soon as I try them, then I want some, and then I'm adding, more to the pile. Any pipe tobacco infused with dog hair. Most of my pipe tobaccos have a bit of dog hair in them. Thatcher and Isabel like to contribute. Oh, Sonny, I'll be interested to hear what you think. I really enjoyed it. This is not at all bad stuff. The best brown flake. I mean, once that topping burns off, and it may not be a topping according to Doug. It's very nice, clean Virginia tobacco. Probably a little bit more to the citrusy side than I normally prefer, but not bad. Ah, Couch found a Falcon on eBay. You don't need smoking pipes after all, huh? That's why she's called Salty, Doug. I know, Jim. It is a daunting task indeed. They were making a big deal about the Pipe Force at the Columbus show, Patrick. They had a whole table set up, and I think for $10 you got a 2 ounce sample of each. Maybe it was a 1 ounce sample of each of the five blends, and you got a patch, a Pipe Force patch, and who knows what else. I just don't like anything with the Star Wars association, so I just walked past. Yeah, well, it was $5 for the samples. Okay, Jim. Jim, did I see you there? I met so many people. I don't know if I ran into you or not. And I did buy a tin of the show blend. So Eric, the blue collar pipe smoker, just saying no to crack. There you go, buddy. How is the crack? Eric bought a beautiful pipe at the pipe show. But I'll let him reveal that in time. Oh, Jim, I'm so sorry. I remember meeting at least two Jims, so it was uh, it was a bit of a whirl to me, to be honest. There was I'm going to talk about this more on Sunday, but there were just so many people coming up to me, and it was a little bit odd. You know, people asking to take pictures with me and stuff. It just, you know, which is wonderful. I shouldn't have used the word odd, but it was odd to me. You know, I don't think of myself as somebody that anybody's going to want to take a picture with, and I just met so many people. So Jim, it was absolutely a pleasure to meet you. I'm sorry I didn't remember. Is that so, Doug? Cutting blades are ancient and are never cleaned. Hopefully they're sharpened. I was preoccupied on a pipe. I'm sorry, Jim. If it was by any chance on Saturday, I had a problem on Saturday that I have it in my eye, and it drove me crazy. It started around 2 o'clock or so on Saturday afternoon, and man, by 4 o'clock it was just intensely painful. And I actually left the show to try to get it taken care of, and that's a long story that I won't bore you with. But so if I met you after 2 o'clock on Saturday, Jim, that might have been the problem. Eric, the pleasure was all mine. Yeah, me and Eric got to sit at the kids' table. Okay, Jim. I think I remember that. I think I remember you stopping me as I walked by. You were sitting on the ledge. Yes. And there just were so many people that I would have loved to have sat down and, you know, spent a half an hour chatting with. And the problem, of course, is that they got things they want to do, and other people want to talk to me, and other people want to talk to them. So it just, I'd say a day and a half just isn't enough time. So, Doug, what was that problem with lighting this best brown flake? I don't seem to be experiencing that. Alex111, welcome. New subscriber. It's great to have you, buddy. Any poles in my collection? No, I do not have any poles. I don't usually like bent pipes. This is an anomaly in my collection. I'm usually much more of a straight pipe guy, but nothing against them. Good deal, Jim. Yes, I see folks welcoming Alex, and it's always great to have a newcomer. That might be the thing, Tim, is you got to use the crack lighter to light the best brown flake. There's the furnace. Hope it's not too loud. Ah, is that so, Doug? So the blades make for that thick cut. Well put, Michael Case. Very well put. And Hill Briar moving on to pipe number 2. Seattle Evening and a mosquito coil protecting his ankles. I don't know, Jim. I'm glad you like them, and yeah, I can see how they might require a little prep, but I just pretty much shoved it in the pipe. I'm careful about making sure I've got some loose stuff on the top to get the flame going, and then the tamping is really important at the beginning. Might have something to do with the lighter, Doug. Although to be fair, I gave up on the Zippo and went to the crack lighter. Alex 111 says it's thundering there. Where is there, Alex? And he's smoking GLP's Westminster. Very nice. Peterson 69 Kildare. Yeah, Jim, I don't quite do the fold and stuff. I kind of like ball it up in my fingers and roll it around and then stuff it in and let it expand. But I don't know what that would be considered. Somewhere between folding and stuffing and rubbing out, I guess. All right, Tim, well, you take care, buddy. Get yourself some sleep. It's hard work, and by the way, congratulations on the promotion there. If I used a rosin, I wouldn't have that problem. Could be, Michael. Oh, you're on the East Coast, Alex. Okay. Same time zone as me. I'm intentionally trying to avoid a relight here just to just to annoy Doug. I had the lighter in my hand, but I rescued it. There was a funny moment at the pipe show. We were, I think it was Greg Tunnel, and it might have been Parsimonious Piper, Ethan, and there might have been somebody else there. I just can't remember it myself. And somebody asked if there was going to be a slow smoke competition at the show, and the answer was no. And I said, I've never been in a slow smoke competition, but I'm pretty certain I would be the first one out. And we all agreed that none of us would have been very good in a slow smoke competition. Then someone said, well, why don't we just have one now? It'll only take like 10 minutes. All right, Yornik, thanks for joining us, buddy. You take care. Funny, as I get down towards the bottom of this bowl, that flavor is coming back. Sort of topping of sorts. It is a musty kind of musty, sweet. I don't know, a little hard to describe. Sailor, I hear it's been hot all over. Oh, thank you, Peter. Yes, this is a Boswell pipe, Jim. Hillbilly Piper, how you doing, Donnie? Great to see you, buddy. Matches in a slow smoke. Yeah, he would have beaten everybody out as first out for sure. That man could puff. And for folks that might be interested, if you're in the area, I heard from, and if you've seen Brian Doran, Beans 316's video that he did about the pipe show, he mentioned this. He's going to try to organize and meet up at Boswell's in October, and hopefully the same weekend as the Las Vegas Pipe Show for all the folks on the East Coast that can't make it to the Las Vegas Pipe Show. So that should be fun. All right, Patrick, 47 minutes. That's not bad. There you go, Couch. That is funny, Doug. First guy out and you win 1,000 matches. That's hilarious. Wasn't too hot today, but it was very humid. It rained most of the day yesterday and a bit this morning. As the sun came out this afternoon, it just got very humid. But it hasn't been terribly hot in this area. Yeah, I know doing it wrong. It's all a matter of, relativity and what you're used to. I look at some of these guys that smoke a pipe for an hour and I just don't know how they keep it lit. And I would just be bored to death with all the relights and tending to it and everything. I don't know, creator. Patrick, you're in the know about such things. Is there going to be a New York Pipe Show? It would have happened already, I guess, but is that done? Are they ever going to revive that, or any word on that? You got rain there too, Peter? Yeah. I was actually going to go fishing last night and it rained. Disappointed in that. Sometimes if I can get out of work early, I go to Valley Creek, which is not too far from where I work, and fish until sundown. But it was raining. Oh, Larry's going to the Capitol Land show, Eric. I was saying earlier that I'm thinking about going to that show. I think you technically can have one relight creator because you get two matches usually in the slow smoke competitions, but most people will use those to light the pipe. So yeah, I did not like that place. I liked the show. I did not like the venue. I think I've reached the bottom of this. Yep, I have. I finished. Finished the best brown flake. And I could almost say that. And looks like we're down to our last 6 minutes, so I'm not going to load another bowl. Probably going to make it an early night tonight because I'm tired. It's I drove back on Sunday from the show, and that was a really long drive. And work started on Monday, and man, I can't believe it's Friday. It went so fast. It's just been constant moving. So I think I need an early night. That does sound like fun, Doug. So there have been fast spoke competitions at some of the clubs in England. Ah, Poem might go to the Albany show as well. Well, that's great. I'm seriously going to try to make it. I have to see what the wife's travel plans because she's actually leaving on Monday for another Pittsburgh trip. Oh, Gary, sorry to hear that, buddy. I hope you feel better soon. Thanks for joining us, my friend, and have a great weekend. The occasional clay piper. You can't be late, but you're close to the end. And I see both Doug and Patrick have corrected me that there are no relights allowed, although I thought you got two matches, so if you didn't use your second match, you should be allowed to relight. But that's just my interpretation. Steve and Kathy signing off. Beowulf and Miss Kathy, good night. Have a great weekend, guys, and thanks for joining us. I still have olives left, but I'll finish those up after the show, Smarty Bob. I got a little bit of a drink left, which I try to time it. That's a good point, Eric. I guess it wouldn't be too long of a haul for Mark. I'll definitely have to check in with him. I would love to. Mark in Rhode Island's a great guy. I'd love to catch up with him. I appreciate folks watching the replay, Clay Piper. Sonny's going to sign off as well. You take care, Sonny. Have a great weekend. So Doug says you're required to use both matches in the first few seconds, and after that, if you go out, you're out. Okay. There are pipe clubs in Pennsylvania, Creator. There are several. Probably the best one, well known, is the I think it's the Morley Club in Philadelphia, and then there's a Lehigh Valley Club, not too far from where I live. And I'm sure there's others. There's probably one out in Pittsburgh, and yeah, those are just the two that I'm familiar with. Piper on the 45. Thanks for joining us, buddy. So since folks are leaving, I think I'm going to wind things up myself. I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. Had a great time as always. The Morley Club hasn't met in person. The Morley Club used to meet in person, Patrick. They used to meet in, there's a big, the Bankers Club, I think it was, or the Press Club in Philadelphia. So they don't meet there anymore. I'm surprised by that. Anyway, gotta wrap up. So thank you all for joining me. I had a great time as always, and it was great to see you folks. Really appreciate you showing up. I'll be back on Sunday. I'll be doing a video kind of reviewing my pipe show experience, and I had a great time, so I hope you have a great time hearing about it. And we'll be back, of course, next Friday with more of this nonsense. So I will finish up my drink. Try not to choke on the olives, and wish you all a great weekend. Thank you, folks. Take care.